And welcome back to Top Dogs. My name is FictionBoi.
I'm Stream Arcadad.
And I'm everyone's favorite wolf, Whiplash.
Definitely not. Anyways,
Oh, you're jealous.
what do I have to be jealous of? At least I'm
red,
taller
you're
than you.
Oh,
he's
so
got
what?
thicker thighs than you, so I don't know.
You wish you had my thighs.
He's
But
been doing a lot of leg day for sure.
Definitely, and a lot of eating cheesecake. But anyways, we have a guest with us. His name is CorgiCraft. So we have a guest with us today, and his name is CorgiCraft, and he is one of our fellow streamers that came to be on the show with us. So please give a warm welcome to CorgiCraft. So you can come over here.
Okay.
Welcome, Corgi.
Oh, yes, you did slap him.
I should have
Thank you
done
for
the
slapping.
slap sound with that.
That's fine. I still have
I
my
tried
horny
to.
hammer. Horny bonk hammer.
I don't have any weapons yet. I'm at a disadvantage.
Wait,
Be nice.
Whiplash, you want to give it a try? Give it a try, just for fun.
Just do it.
Give it a light.
Oh, not that
no,
weapon.
not this one. Not this one. Not this
Not
one.
that weapon.
Get the hammer again.
Here's the thing is, this weapon is dangerous. The other weapon is also dangerous in other ways.
Can we give it just a
clearly.
light bunk?
I feel like a little kid in this chair. This chair's
There
meant
you
for
go.
big guys like you, and I'm like,
I mean, here I can get into my smaller Regulus and make it better.
Yeah, if it makes you
no.
feel
No,
better
you
about
don't have to do
yourself,
that.
yeah. All
I
right.
actually
So,
have-
anyways,
superpowers.
oh,
Oh, you can increase your size.
how does it feel to be bigger?
Much
There we
better.
go.
Up.
Now he's the same size as me.
I see what.
Oh my god.
Ooh, size difference. Yeah.
So
Did it again.
Ooh, kinky.
Oh my god.
Anyways, Corgi,
Size
how are
me
you
up,
doing this
Daddy.
evening? Shut
I'm doing a
up.
lot better.
That's my
If
name.
you hear cat meowing, I apologize ahead of time.
Your cat's near you?
I have 2 cats, and I'm currently in their space, so they might crawl on me every once in a while. I have Taco Bell and Nacho Bell Grande. They're all chilling.
I like how you
Excellent
name that
names.
food.
Has 2 excellent names. I'll name mine. I just name one of them Soft Burrito.
Soft burrito.
Taco. Soft
Yeah,
burrito.
when they sleep on the head part of the couch, they turn into like a small burrito.
They do.
And just
Like whenever
pick
they
them up
like,
and
I like it when like any like animals like tuck in their paws because then they just look like a burrito laying down with a tail.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I see Nacho
All right, so-
sleep right there, but I don't even know where Taco is.
Taco might have just ran off because cats, they be wandering sometimes. Sometimes you don't know where the hell they went.
Well, Taco's my cat. Normally he would just be like already glued to my legs, but I think he understands that when I have the big plastic things on my feet to not come near me because I may have accidentally punted him once. That's why he's not allowed in my room when I'm in VR.
Oh, kick
Well-
the kitty. Don't kick the kitty.
It was by complete accident. So for
It's an
safety
accident.
reasons,
Yeah,
he's not
it's
allowed in my
fine.
room.
Yeah, of course. Of course, it was not intentional. I would hope not, at least.
Yeah, he's fine.
But
He's just
no.
scared when I have the things on my feet.
Well, I guess that's his first lesson. He learned the first time. But anyways, so I wanted to get a little bit more personal with you before we get into any other questions. So I guess my first question I wanted to ask is, can you tell me a little bit about your gender identity and how you came to understand and accept it?
Yeah, I am considered transmasc, which means that I am transgender, leaning more into the masculine side. You'll see me wear feminine avatars every once in a while, but that's just because, an avatar looks pretty, I'm going to wear it.
Mhm.
Everybody can appreciate really pretty avatars. When it comes to my identity, it honestly took me a really long time. I'm currently 31. I didn't understand that I was trans until I was 23. It took a really long time because of the older generation. We didn't have access to like the internet and stuff in the early 90s until it started to really grab hold of us. And I started to learn more and more, and I thought I was just very heavily tomboyish. And then it came in like a wrecking ball one week, and I was like, oh, okay. I might have to start thinking a little bit heavier about this. And so I was to be married to my husband in 2019, and it was kind of really itching at the back of my head, and I wasn't sure if I wanted to transition yet. So I actually sat down with him, I think a couple weeks before our wedding, and told him, like, hey, I'm having these kind of thoughts, and I don't want you to feel like you're getting roped into something after we get married, and I decide to go through with it or not. Him and me have been together since 2010, and he's cheesiest thing out of his mouth is, I'm here for you, not for, what's on the outside. And I cried like a little brat.
No, that's sweet though.
Well, it's always good when someone is going to stick by you, even like through a major transition like that.
And it's good because you communicated. You communicated with him. He knows exactly what's going on. He knows what he got himself into, and that's really good. Communication inside a relationship is one of the most important thing. And when you think you communicate enough, trust me, you need to communicate more because we never do.
Very much so.
That's really great.
When it comes to communication, though, if I was to point out any type of other communication that he sucks at, is definitely not reading his goddamn script.
Hey, be nice. I say nice things about you.
What script? I don't have a script.
I was literally thinking about my clipboard the other day. Funny thing.
It's a TikTok video you have to see on Top Dogs. You can also see on the YouTube short clips on our YouTube channel if you want to see it to understand it.
That's why I was making a hint about putting the stunt mattress underneath his chair, because the one TikTok where he went to pet you and he fell over and landed on the ground.
Oh yeah, that one.
Oh, you should put a whoopee cushion.
What does you fall down and?
Oh, it's on his clipboard. It says it's 100% bottom, and he was pointing at you, Corgi.
Oh,
that's not true. It was saying this. It was saying cute and adorable.
No, that's not what I
say. Let me draw you like one of your French wolves.
Yeah, no, both of you have come to visit me, and both of you threatened me already with the whole bottom thing, and I'm already nervous as it is.
I didn't threaten you with the bottom thing. I just stood over you like, hey, what's up?
I didn't do that.
I
didn't even call you a bottom.
Bottoms for. Oh my god.
So we did. Whiplash, you're guilty of it all the time. You call a lot of people bottom. We don't. It's you that keeps doing it. It's not even us.
I don't like the bottom shaming. I don't like the bottom shaming at all.
I don't either.
You can't
how many times I have
I'm accepting of it. Like, I'm okay with that.
I mean, yeah, well, that's different. You're accepting it. But the thing is, Whiplash calls everybody a bottom.
I don't. You know how many bottoms I have coming up to me and be like, "Oh, you're such a bottom," and I'm just like,
Well, no,
sure. Yes, all the Brady bottoms do it.
Yeah, I get that.
You get sucked
like,
into it.
The
problem is,
I was like, whatever.
The difference between me, Whiplash, and between me, Stream, and you is that you fall for their trap. We don't. We just like, okay, that's what you think. We'll walk off.
No. That's what he said. That's what he said. He said, whatever. Doesn't matter. Like, to me personally, I'm like, I don't have to prove anything to you. You want to call me a bottom? That's fine. I don't care.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. See what happens. I don't need to justify myself. I don't need to prove it to you either. But if you ask nicely, though, I'll reconsider.
Here's the thing is, most of the ones that call me a bottom are the ones I've done stuff with. That's the thing.
Yeah,
that's
a lot of people they like it. Hey, you pick at people you like, right? And tops they don't like to be called bottoms, so they're trying to provoke us. It's all friendly. It's fine.
My favorite thing to do is to walk up to my 7-foot dragon boyfriend and call him a bottom. He'll look down at me and be like, "Excuse you?" I'm like, "You heard me." But
you want his attention. That's the thing. You want his attention.
Touch me. Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to punch you. Come back. I'm sorry.
Oh no!
My hand was chilling, and I felt something touch my finger, and I pulled away and slapped one of them.
I think
cat.
Well, at least cats. They're so mushy.
It was a taco.
They got thick fur.
It wasn't hard enough.
Hey, boy,
cats are very mushy, and they got thick fur, so it acts like a bumper. So it's okay.
Okay,
It's
but
fine.
in
I got my
all,
dog here
Sorry
too,
for
actually.
beating you.
He's
but
a good boy.
yeah, that's good. But anyways, in all seriousness, I wanted to point out the thing that we were going to bring back the question about, coming out about certain things, and we'll keep it the focus on that subject. And that, interesting fact enough is that Whiplash has, came out to his family, so that was an interesting experience for him at least, and he felt like a huge weight off his shoulder when you came out about
Absolutely. Yeah. How was it for you?
Hello. Okay, I guess
And-
Nacho's gonna take a nap right here.
on your lap.
Yeah, that's fine. Cat's fine. The
He
place.
understands not to lay on the hip tracker, so at least he
That's
learned
good.
something
If they fit,
along
they
the
sit.
way.
And also, it's cool that your husband accepted for, who you are, and that's great. It's good to have a support system like that. Even we have a transgender woman in the background there, which she's always lovely. She is very beautiful and very kind. Hey, Bethany.
There she is.
You're our favorite cow. And this is gonna sound bad, but you are our favorite cow. And legitimate.
Oh my!
I love you guys.
She is a
Weird,
cow.
but it's actually true.
She is a cow. I don't mean to do that as an insult.
That sounds so bad when you say that. It's like she's a good cow for someone. That's what it is.
Yeah, but the thing is, but I didn't want to. I just want to clarify that to the audience. I'm not saying that somebody is just a cow. Oh, she drew a heart for me. How sweet. Anyways.
All right. But Corgi, how was it for you whenever you came out to your parents?
Oh, okay, no, true. He was answering. My bad.
Chris, can you... Chris.
Oh.
The cat is climbing.
Okay. There we go. Okay, moving on. So it actually ended up not going as well. As you know, I am in my 30s, so my parents are of the way older generation. I told my dad and I told my mom. My mom has been accepting of literally everything that I've done throughout my entire life. And let me tell you, I've done some questionable things in my life. But the moment that I said, hey, Mom, I want to be a man, I guess that's where the line was officially at. I was like, oh, okay. I haven't really spoke to my dad since, but that's okay because I had another support system. My late father-in-law was actually a huge support system. He was very supportive of me and even helped take me shopping sometimes. And he was super sweet. Unfortunately, he did pass away a couple years ago. But we still love him. He is currently up on our, what is that thing called? Mantle. And all that.
My condolences.
Yeah.
Condolences.
But having my husband, my close friends, and everything has been enough for me. My mom hasn't exactly been, ever since I graduated and moved out, she has been a part of my life, but only when it's convenient for her, so I'm not really missing much. And I know it sounds really hard, and I know it sounds really bad, but I'm happy. I'm in love where I'm at right now. I feel great being in who I want to be. I'm currently about to start doing the actual transition part because I'm not fully transitioned. I'm post-op right now.
Okay.
So you guys will start noticing over a while that my voice will start deepening.
And we're back. Sorry, we were having some technical difficulties, so we are back, and this is. And we're gonna
Top
fix
them more into the audience.
What? What?
Jacksepticeye.
What?
I think that's Jacksepticeye's thing.
It is.
No, I know that's Jacksepticeye things, but it just came out of nowhere. It was so random. But anyways,
Okay, just
I
ask
was
the
gonna.
question.
I guess so. Yes, I'm gonna ask the question. So you were talking about something previously about your family, but this question I'm gonna ask you also has to, do more with that. So I guess, can you speak to any challenges or discrimination you have faced as a trans person in general life as well as streaming?
Actually, yeah. As you know, with general streaming, there's always going to be haters. We handle them with grace. Usually, they'll come in and they'll say something kind of mean, and then I'll just flirt with them until they leave. So that works out on its own. But I think the most recent thing is I recently got a yin avatar that has kind of like a large chest and all that. It's a very pretty avatar, very much like it. And I had a friend who's been a friend of mine for a long time tell me you can't expect people to get your pronouns correct when you wear avatars like that. And it hurt. It had me sitting there wondering and starting questioning myself because I like the avatar. It looks really nice, and all of the proportions fit my body in real life. So I was like, okay, this is a really pretty avatar. So when I got told that, it hit hard. And I haven't been really wearing it as much lately. And then I got my Reggie for my birthday, so I feel a little, I really like this avatar. Like, I've been stuck on this avatar since I put it together. But I'll still pull it out every once in a while for like jokes and stuff like that, but now I don't feel the same way about it anymore because that's always going to be stuck in my mind. And I let him know, like, that actually hurt. Like, hey bro, that actually, like, you need to think about what you just said because that actually kind of hurt my mentality there for a minute. And I've brought it up a few times because I've had people pretty much say the same thing. Just because I wear, like, I still have, like, plushies and, like, girly things in my room. It doesn't define who I am as a person. Guys can want, like, girly things. Guys can like the color pink. Like, yes, nothing should be genderized like that. I should still, like, wear masculine clothes and be the guy that I want to be, but still be able to like some of the stuff, the interests that I grew up with.
So it's funny you're talking about this because my husband and I were in the process of having a child of our own, and we don't really care if it's going to be a boy or a girl by birth. But one thing I'm going to surely do is not restrict my child if we go to the Toys R Us, which we still have in Canada. If my boy wants to go buy a Barbie doll, then we'll buy him a Barbie doll. If our girl wants to play with Hot Wheels or the other stereotypical, like, boy thing, we'll buy our child whatever they want to play with, and we're just gonna go off of that. I think it's okay. It's not. It has nothing to do with it. So yeah.
I have a giant 3-foot purple Pete plush that I use as a body pillow. So when I snuggle with my boyfriend in VR, I have something to actually, like, physically hold on to.
That's
instead
a good
of, like,
idea.
having my arms and legs floating in the air.
I was gonna say, I hate people who actually say that. Like, just let people enjoy what they like. Like, just because they wear something that may not be directly to you, thinking that you think of them being that person, they're just enjoying what they like. They don't have to live up to what you think as their standards is of being a him or a her. Like, that makes no sense to me. Like, I hate people like that so much. So much.
I'm super understanding
when
it comes to people that I don't see on a daily basis, people that I've just met. They're not always going to get my gender correct right away. I still have a very feminine voice, and I occasionally wear female avatars. So if you're meeting me for the first time, I'm going to understand if you get my pronouns wrong. So I usually just do a simple correction like, hey, I'm actually trans male, I go by he, him, and then we move on. I'm not the kind of person that's going to be like, I'm going to cancel you because you got my pronouns wrong. I'm not that kind of person. Like, it happens. The moment that I start transitioning is when I'm going to be a little bit more pushy towards it because there's going to be bigger indicators. But when it comes to people that I've known for years and they're still getting it wrong, and, like, they hang out with me on a daily basis, it's starting to make me wonder, like, do they actually
care about me?
Yeah, like, do they care about what you want?
Yeah.
Well,
it starts to just make you wonder.
My best friend started transitioning like years ago, and it kind of took me a minute to get used to it. But now I'm always like completely correct about her pronouns, and I'm happy for her. Honestly, I'm always happy for someone who actually figured out their true selves, because that makes me know that they're looking towards their future with what they want to be, and I'm happy about that. Like, I'm happy for you.
Oh yeah.
Finding out at this young age. Fiction, do not become Clint Eastwood. Guess this is gonna be the good bad
young age and point at me. I'm in my 30s now. I'm not young age anymore. Don't point.
Me and Corey, were both older than you, by the way, buddy.
Yeah, I was like.
We're the same age, me and Corgi, actually.
I'm almost 28, so I'm not far behind you guys.
Almost
But
28.
So if you're gonna say young age, that's
okay.
you still have the 2 in your
Actually,
age.
I'm the youngest one here.
Yeah, no, but didn't you say you like
Are you
transitioned at a young age? Yeah,
I'm
fiction's
26.
youngest.
He's a boy. He's just a puppy, but we still love him no matter what. He's a good boy.
It's the fact his eyes got so puppy.
His contact, his tail was
Look. Oh,
Whiplash,
look,
his
he's
tail
happy. I'm
wags.
giving him a head
His
pat.
tail wags.
Aw.
Oh, you got the wrong
My
avatar.
Lo.
You're the one that has it.
Make you give. I
Why do
can
I
give you
feel-
puppy eyes
why do-
and make you smile, even if you don't want to. Your avatar will do it on its own. Yes, I
Why do
love
I
I
feel
know.
like?
I have
Why do
no
I feel like
control
your
over that.
boyfriend did that? Why do I feel like your
Aw.
boyfriend did that to you? On
No, he
purpose?
did not do that. My creator did that on purpose. Okay.
Oh my
so,
God.
anyways, even though you and I, Whiplash, we still have to deal with toxic masculinity all the time. Even Stream does too. But you know.
Oh yeah,
we
there's toxic masculinity.
Absolutely.
We deal with that all the time. I still deal with that, mentally at least. But anyways, well, that's another
I'm
topic
trying
for
to
another
help
day.
my husband with that stereotype with the toxic masculinity. He is a 6'7" gender, but he's gender fluid. So he's trying to break that mentality from the toxic masculinity to let himself be more free into liking the things that he likes, because he also wants to wear pretty things from time to time and stuff like that. He, goes between both genders, and just people keep pushing that stereotype because he's a big guy. He can only be a big guy. He can't be anything else. And so I'm trying to help him out of that mentality to start embracing a little bit more of the other sides that he wants. And all that.
You kind of already answered this question, but I'm going to ask you again. So how do you navigate any potential discrimination or harassment from viewers while streaming? How about handling difficult or potentially offensive questions from your viewers?
Well, I have a really good mod team. Shout out to all of my amazing mods. Sometimes I don't even see it. It'll be gone before I even get a chance to look at it, because I have a very large mod team that are very hungry for when those hate comments come in. When they do slip through,
give your mod team credit, because your moderation team is on point.
Yeah, they are.
yeah, a lot of them have, a good chunk of them, like Trashman, have been friends of mine since, I've been friends with Trashman and Darken Trashman and Stolf for over 6 years. We're like the oldest friends and stuff like that. So when I started streaming, I was like, hey, you guys really have no obligations, but if you like to smack the crap out of people, here you go. I'll let you guys be mods.
Oh,
Making
awesome.
Trashman a mod may have been a big mistake, though, because he's a little trigger happy, but his heart's in a good place. But
hey, as long as you're okay with it.
Yeah, they're really good. They're very on top of stuff, and they all know that there is no obligation. All of it is volunteer work, and that I can do things myself. I have everything set up for me to do myself. With the occasional, I need help when I'm in VR. Because when I do the very long streams, OBS tends to be like, oh, you can't click anything anymore. Having somebody help me with that is really nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so fun what happens.
But when some of them do get through, I'll either educate, because sometimes they come in, they don't really know, and I'll educate them. If they still don't listen, then, I have a really funny ban alert that I absolutely love, and it's me dancing on the screen saying, I got time for you bullshit now.
That's cool.
But
That's great.
I try my best to educate. I try to talk to them as best that I can, but I make content on both Twitch and TikTok, and there's a lot of toxic people on TikTok that will make their way over and will try things. And it was real bad during the whole hate raid problem, when people were constantly getting hate raided. I got a lot of those during that time.
I remember those days.
A very memorable time that happened was not last New Year's, but the New Year's before that. So New Year's going into 2022. I did a 24-hour stream where I had multiple interviews with a lot of my streamer friends and trying to shed light on other communities other than just the furry community. We had people from the live 2D community. We had people from the human community. I was trying to branch out all over the place. And we were one interview away from being done. I had been up for 24 hours. I was exhausted. I was tired. So I was in VR, and we were just kind of vibing. We were waiting until the interview, and I was like falling asleep in my chair. Like, if I have clips of me snoring, like I was so tired. Somebody came in. There are 2 people came in. They followed me. They had very transphobic names.
Of course,
me and Chat were very tired, so we were roasting them, and of course my mods banned them almost instantly. About 10 minutes later, they come back with new names and new accounts, and the most notable one is CorgiCraft is big female.
Is that the best they got?
I literally was so tired.
Seriously?
It's the best they had. I literally sat there and was like, yo, can I buy that account off of you? I will make that my bot account. Can I have that? Because you know how some streamers have a secondary account to be like their little bot thing in the chat? I was like, bro, I'll make that. Can I buy that off of you? But they ended up getting banned. But it's just one of those things where it's going to happen, and you just do what you can and try to not let it get too deep, or else, you know, you're not going to be able to continue like that over and over and over.
Which actually brings back the episode about drama where I said that when you're receiving drama, the best way to handle it and take care of it is actually to turn it into a joke. So the fact that you're like, dude, I actually like that name, I want it, the person just lost all their credibility. And I think it's great. I think it's a great response to deal with this type of haters. It's just turn into a joke. It makes it fun for you, and they end up looking like fools.
The funniest one besides that is, I used to stream on TikTok. I unfortunately am, banned off, TikTok Live now. I finally got a hold of the TikTok Live beta, and I streamed for 2 hours, and then I got, banned for hateful content because I called myself gay. I'm not really sure what was going on there. They said that I could appeal it and I can get it back. I tried to. I got a 404 error page, so I just gave up. I'm fine where I am on Twitch. So I did a TikTok Live. I was at a Pride event down in Eugene, and I got flooded by hate comments like crazy. And I had a few TikTok mods. They were trying their best to try and keep up with it. And I told them, just let it happen. It's gonna happen. Just you're gonna get exhausted. Don't overdo it, guys. Just if I ignore them, they're gonna go away. And you know what I did? I sat there and I talked about the thing. We went for a walk around. We looked at the booths. We looked at the parade. We had an absolute fun time. And like sooner or later, they went away on their own, because the whole point of haters coming in and causing.
They want to provoke you, and you must not give them any reason to that they're actually provoking you. Otherwise, you're just feeding them.
I just accept their hate, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
accept it.
I got
whatever.
a lot of hate when I did my live TikToks.
I was gonna say
the attention that they want, it's gonna feed them.
I can honestly say that from a point. But even if it doesn't really matter about whether social media drama, it comes in all shapes and forms, whether it's recording or even on a Twitter post, or people want to start, what I consider the let's take screenshot of this individual and make them look bad kind of people, and we have that problem. But what I always suggested is always ignored it as well, because they want to get a rise off of you, and unfortunately I was a victim of it. But I didn't, again, let it get to me, because, what can they do besides try to hurt your pride if you don't let it hurt it?
I get more furry hate comments than I do actual, like, transgender or, like, LGBT hate comments. I get so many furry hate that when it comes to actual, like, the occasional homophobic stuff, I'm like, oh, that's new. Okay.
So it's not cool to hate on LGBT, but now it's just cool to hate on furries because we're, I guess.
That's always been the case. So that's the thing. That's always been around.
Like,
but eventually that will go away.
I'm seeing actually TikTok videos of people, non-furries, actually defending furry people because they're mentioning the group they're in and what they do, and they're like, why are you guys hating on them? They're just expressing themselves, and they're super easygoing. They do charity work. They put smile on people's face. Why are you hating on them so much? They didn't do anything wrong.
It's because they're wanting to. You ever heard of that whole saying of when the bullies a smaller kid? Well, they have their own problems at home, kind of thing. That's usually how I think it is.
Yeah, projecting is something that is very common amongst the bully.
It's either that or someone just hates people seeing people happy. But most of their reasonings are they think that most furries are.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say it would. Yeah,
I'll say it.
Type of.
They think that we're that.
Just say the illegal Z word. That way we don't get targeted or anything. I've actually got. When you do the live stream on TikTok, at one point I needed to have some moderators because people are like, do you support Black Lives Matter? They were asking me like a bunch of questions that were like, of course I don't support racism or the Z word that you mentioned. I don't support any of this. Like, I believe everybody should be treated equally. I think we should learn to love each other the way we are, and it's okay if you have different religions or belief, as long as you respect each other. I think this whole world is going to be a better place, but I still feel like it's going to take a little while before it happens, which is very sad.
I will say this is what I say when it comes to tough questions, and especially if we're going to be dealing with questions like that. And that can go for anyone that is a very big public figure and dealing with tough questions where people like to throw those shady questions at you.
See how you react and what you say.
It depends on how you react and what you say, but the main thing is that you know what question they're asking. They're hoping to get a rise out of you. You know what they're trying to do, and no matter what you do, people are going to make their assumptions regardless if you say yes or no. So I always let them. If I was to give an answer to any tough question to any kind of interview, and especially very very controversial topics like that, I was like, listen, it doesn't really matter if I say yes or no. You're still going to make your own assumptions and judgment on it. So you can take that as your answer.
So
and I don't really have to, and I don't really even have to answer any of those tough questions because my opinions on the matter do not matter in the situation that we are in. If I'm talking about a situation where we're doing a program of helping like a fundraiser for cancer patients, and that's all it is, and someone does that, I was like, well, you're going to make your own assumptions about whatever answer I give you, so I'm just going to say this: make your own assumption and you can take it to whoever you want, but this is not what this is about. This is about helping cancer patients. Okay.
Yes. One of the things that I find to be very helpful is turning the question back on them. I actually had somebody ask me if I like to do things with dogs. Is the best way to describe it. And I'll turn around and be like, "Well, do you like to, F your mom?" And they're like, "What?" I'm like, "Well, do you?" And they're like, "No." And I'm like, "Why would you assume that I do the same?"
Yeah, like, that's really good. I like that. That's really good.
So turning the question back on them and putting the spotlight back on them and making them uncomfortable tends to help, but most of the time just ignoring them and making sure that you have a good mod team is definitely helpful. Not relying completely on mods, but like at least having a good team that that if they're hanging around, they're gonna see something like that, they're gonna jump right on it.
Okay.
So just making sure you have a way.
Okay. Well, how do you think society can better support and advocate for transgender community?
I've noticed on TikTok there have been a few more transgender content creators that have opened up their livelihood from them transitioning from day one to the current day that they're at, where they're starting to, they visited like the White House a few times, and they have been a really big voice. There's a lot of people that are very upset that they're doing it like that, but I'm actually really for that because trying to advocate for the transgender community has been hard because it's not just the transgender community that is struggling. LGBTQ communities and a lot of other communities are struggling in their own right as well. So trying to make our voices heard, it to people that are not of the same community, it's just going to be basically the same type. Like say transgender community tries to speak out to try and say, hey, we'd like human rights. They tend to lump it in with everything as well. So a lot of the stuff that they're advocating is for everything at once. Which is fine, because I want more rights for all
people.
All people in general.
Yeah. So what I have I grew up. So I'll be a little bit personal with you. I grew up in a Republican household. I'm from the South.
Same.
And yeah, but the thing is,
I'm from the North.
You're from
Canadian
white woman.
So, anyways, Canadian.
Hey, behave.
Behave.
So, anyways, I guess what I'm going to point out is, yes, I grew up in a Southern Republican household, but being in a Southern Republican household, I would say the one thing that I necessarily do not like, it's not really so much the Republican or even the I saw what you did there. But anyways, I would say what sucks about it is that no matter what spectrum you're on each side, whether community, political side, I think people are still going to be people. Of course, every side has an extreme side, and of course, those people are not that fun to be around. But I don't believe that whatever side you're on, not all of them are bad. Because I have a very supportive mother who is Republican, and she supports me being a furry and being bisexual. So I don't really like how the social media portrays certain groups because they're just focusing on the extreme negative side of it all.
Well, when it comes to look, I understand how you feel. I mean, that's what made me scared of telling my parents that, because they're extremely Republican. But my thing is, when I meet people, I don't like knowing who they vote for, because as soon as I find out that it's going to turn into an all-out war and it just starts ruining friendships, and I don't like it. Normally, I just like getting to know the person.
I like getting to know the person. I think it's okay to discuss political debates if you could be mature enough and also trust the person you're talking to.
Yeah,
I actually have a few friends that had voted for the Orange Man and stuff like that. We're still friends. We still have political debates. We still talk. One of the things that he was actually against that I am for, we actually had a real talk, and I told him about a life experience that I had that put me in a subject that I had to, go through something like that, and it put a whole new fresh perspective for him. He's still a little more on his side, but he can understand where we're coming from over on my side. So we were able to come to a common ground where we can agree on things. And
at the end of the day, all you need to do, regardless of your political ideals, still be a good human being. Regardless, it doesn't matter who. Show some respect towards the individual, whether it is their ethnicity, their gender, their race, and all that. You don't disrespect someone just because of who they are. That's
even cool. Well, you're from the South, so you understand how hard it is.
Not everybody from the South is bad.
No, but you understand how hard it is to actually have an actual conversation with someone about politics. You know how hard it is.
Yeah,
it's not that hard.
But that's one point is when you're having an argument, it's at one point you need to realize, okay, we're coming to a disagreement. Let's agree to disagree and move on. This is the best way to disarm a situation that is, it's going to blow up. At one point, you need to recognize that and make the person aware, look, we're drifting in polar opposite direction, and this is going to blow up. And my relationship with you is more important than a political debate. So let's agree to disagree. And it just ends right there.
Just so you know, not all your friends are going to agree with everything.
Uncomfortable about it is when it comes to somebody's livelihood. If it puts somebody in danger to where they say they put out a bill to where even if I transition, I can't use the proper bathrooms or stuff like that. I have to stay in my bathroom. That can actually be a problem, because trans females being forced to continue to use male bathrooms can honestly put them in danger.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only time that I would actually be disagreeing with somebody, is when it actually puts somebody's life in danger.
100% understandable. Makes perfect sense.
So
anything else, I'm usually pretty up for debate, though. But when it puts somebody in danger, that's when I'm not okay.
Yeah,
no, exactly.
When it comes to, well, I also wanted to point out one thing real quick before I get the question of the week. So, for example, we all have our friends, and there's going to be things that we love about them, and there's going to be a couple of things that we may not like about them. There's no perfect friend, no perfect boyfriends, etc., and stuff like that. I can use Whiplash, for example, and me and Stream would agree that he is very forgetful. I had to put you under the...
We still love you. We still love you.
Still love you.
You're fine. You're fine.
You're fine.
Yes, I'm forgetful. Yes, I am forgetful. But I've been trying to work on that this year. I was on before you both. That's for sure.
You were on time. That was like really cool. Really cool.
That was good. I was happy.
I've been doing better. I was on time last week and this week. But to be fair, I've been on for the past 4 hours.
I actually was looking for Fiction, because Fiction's name pops up before you guys, because you know how it's alphabetical order. I went to join on Fiction, but Fiction
I'm at the very bottom, so it makes sense.
Yeah, so Stream was next.
That's where you
and
belong,
I was like,
anyways.
Fiction's not on.
Oh, oh my god. That's fine.
I had to, because it was too good to pass up. The first thing that came out,
Andreas, you couldn't be the top of a hamburger button.
And by the way, I'm not all talk.
Oh, I'm not all talk either. You can go ask, I don't know, I'm a whore, but still.
There you go. I just heard Colton squeal in the background.
Hey, we can let them flip out every once in a while.
Anyway, so I'm going to start out with the question of the week before we go any further. So anyways, so the question of the week, audience, is
literally
this.
The way that we're set up is the two tops over there and the two bottoms over here. It's literally like
That's
tops
perfect.
versus bottoms.
Perfect. Thank you for noticing. I'm glad you put Whiplash under the bus for that.
Look, I had the regular. Look, I had the regulars before every single bottom that existed started getting the regulars. All right, I've had this avatar for 2 years. When it was still unknown. I didn't
have the money. I finally got it for my birthday, okay?
But anyways,
no, you're fine.
Corgi.
I've had this before it became...
Go on. You had it for 2 years, yes.
Yeah, I had it for 2 years for everyone got it. Not my fault that every bottom chose this one like the Nartle Dragon, alright?
Well, that's just plain obvious why they get it. But anyways, so I'm going to start out with the question of the week. So to the audience, what are your pronouns, and why do you identify with those pronouns? And also, if you haven't already, please subscribe to our channel. And if you want to be alerted for any video that we do, you can hit the notification bell as well. And follow us up on our audio platform and leave us a rating, as that will help us a lot. Also, join our Discord and Telegram chat. Links and all of these in our link tree below. So to get all that information, just be in link tree in the description. If you don't, Whiplash is probably going to nose boop you with his wet bottom nose.
Ew. Hey, no bottom shaming. Come on.
I'm doing it to get a rise out of him.
Oh, he's got a gun. He's got a gun.
It's going to turn into a Joker scene
I'm very
very
glad
quickly.
you used the correct confetti this time.
Yes, I didn't mess up this time.
You better go follow our links. Better go follow our links. Or I'm going to show Fiction who the real bottom is here.
Hello.
On camera.
Oh, whoa.
Oh, you?
Why are we doing this?
No. So the thing is that I just thought it would be funny because well, there he goes. He was getting the floor pregnate the floor like Andreas did.
That's Andreas.
That is now who's the real bottom. You just went straight through the floor to the bottom.
Okay. This is when I'm just gonna turn into an Enderman, and I'm just gonna like oof over there now.
Fiction, you're just the top version of bottoms who say that you're a bottom. You really are.
At least I'm more
really
emotional support.
Ooh.
Yeah, well, I haven't got that from you yet.
Oh my god. Okay,
But you have to support the bottom.
God.
You just gotta hold out your hand, so you gotta support the bottom.
Come here.
There's a pair
You wish
I'd
you
like
had,
to
Come
support
here,
you wish
right
you
now.
had the peach I got. You wish you had the peach I had.
My ass is bigger than yours.
Sorry,
I
Colton.
would like to support something on fiction. Maybe funnel them a bit.
You couldn't even. To be honest with you, the only
this
reason why
changed
you have
very
you have an R is because you
I
lost
know,
all
right?
feelings with that one after you've been doing your
I
thing.
feel like
Oh,
this
trust
happens
me,
in every world
it's
that
very
I've known.
tactile. I feel everything. It can be cold
Fiction
or
this
warm,
time.
depending if
I
you
don't
like
try to
that or
start
not.
crap.
Well, we're sassing each other. That's what we do, Whiplash. That's what makes good
Yes.
content.
Well, that's
Yes,
that's
but
what
I told
good
you
friends
exactly
do
how
as
I
well.
felt this weekend. Yes, but I told you how I felt this weekend.
You felt nothing between you.
Yeah, well, never mind. Don't worry about it then. Everyone else is knowing except for you.
Okay, so anyways, I'm going to start off with another question. Now we're getting into some juicy details. Okay, Corgi, you ready for this? Ready for this?
Hold on, I have to play space up here because I'm so small. The juicier the better, please.
I'll say there's not juice. My God.
Easy.
Extra.
I'm gonna say you're wet as dry bread.
That's funny. I actually like that.
It's
That was
funnier
funny.
to me because I'm a corgi, which are considered bread loaves.
They are.
Just like,
All right, so here we go. I'm going to ask you some questions.
Let me
take
put my
that
baguette in
off.
between your two croissants.
I
Jeez,
haven't
Mr.
seen that
French
since
Bully,
the TikTok video. Take that off.
I kept it. I kept it after that. I put that
Oh my
mustache
God.
the day I did the recording with Cargi.
Stream. Stay in your zone, Canadian bacon.
Okay.
Oh my God.
Okay, anyways, so how do you not stream Corgi. Corgi, so how do you think the gaming
You call me
streaming
that,
communities
Canadian bacon
can
on the
become more let me finish my question.
Go ahead. Keep yapping, boy.
Keep capping.
Hang
Yes,
on,
keep capping.
you know. Okay. Come get yourself some crunchy, boy.
What are you,
Supposed to
the...
react or do something?
You just
You
did...
just
What
kinda
did
did.
you architect?
I rolled my thumbstick because I was gonna do the nuke, but I was like, oh no, I don't need
Hang
that.
on, no,
so
I
moved
meant
up
to get up for
the-
this. So let me before I do that. So I was asking, how do you think the gaming and streaming communities can become more inclusive and welcoming to trans individuals? But before you answer that question, come get your crunchy, boy.
Oh God, no!
Get your
The
crunch.
I
crunchy
wasn't
boy.
expecting that. I was like,
Get
what
your-
are you doing? Why are you getting closer?
Why do I feel like that'd be good for our cereal commercials? Like, come get your crunchy cereal. Full of vitamin D.
Oh, you know what's worse?
Not
is
you with a
that
chef over there.
Why
Oh
do
my
you have
God.
a jar of peanut butter?
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking
Can I-
about.
Look, we know you're a canine. We know you're... We know you're a canine, but that doesn't happen.
There's an
like that.
entire room of canines.
question
Put the
is-
peanut
my
butter away.
Wait a minute.
What?
Why do you,
Yeah.
hold on. Before you answer the question I gave you, why is the peanut butter up your ass?
It's behind my back. I got pods on the back of my
It
belt.
looks from this camera angle, it looks like you're pulling peanut butter out of your butt.
I mean, it could be
That's
nice
what
to
you
You
be
just bring a whole peanut butter jar. I can make
Dude,
a
I
joke,
got
but I'm not gonna
so
make
much
that joke.
stuff down there.
Hey.
Oh my
creamy
God.
creamy peanut butter can be good lubrication, alright?
No.
Oh no, it's not.
Don't say that. Don't say that.
You wanna
The extra crunchy one? Best.
I mean,
ever.
extra crunchy is good. Extra crunchy is good,
As somebody
honestly.
who's
But-
part of the
Hang on.
Vore community,
I gotta do it one
there's
more
a lot
time.
of
I
stuff
gotta
you
do
can
it.
stuff
I
up
gotta
your
do it
butt.
one more time. Come
Trust
get
me, I
your
know. My friends
crunchy,
send me so
boy.
much of that.
I got your crunchy
peanut
right
pan?
here.
The peanut butter.
I'm so done.
Peter Pan peanut butter.
You see,
Stop with
I'm not just crunch. I can not only just be crunchy. I can
Yeah, I
also
know how to
be very
respect
sweet.
both
I'm
sides.
gonna play space up. Thank you. I was like, I'm gonna play space up before it looks like I'm putting my head where it shouldn't be. 'Cause I'm
Fiction,
smaller
you
than
need to
him.
calm down. You
Yeah.
have to respect our guests. My God,
I was
you're acting like
respecting
a
our
true.
guest.
You're acting like a true
I
top.
was
We're trying to be
threatening-
having
I was actually
feelings.
threatening Whiplash, but
I was
you're
been-
gonna get the collar next if you don't behave. The smooth talking
Yeah.
is my thing.
All I can see in the corner of my eye
I feel
is
like
my
we all
dragon
can do
looking
that.
at him.
I just like respecting guests, alright? Even though Corgi is a good friend.
Fucking hell, scared me. I was focused on something else. I was like, where the hell do I take off the color on this menu? And then I like,
Okay, let's get back on track before I lose my
Shooting
distraction.
across the ground like a true canine.
Anyway, I had to assert my dominance. But anyways.
oh yeah, that was a cute try.
Okay.
I'd love to see more.
About as dominant as a domino piece falling over.
You couldn't. The only thing you'd be good is flipping yourself over. Anyways.
Oh, back onto
How
my
do
back?
you-
Sure.
Yeah.
Man, we're bringing the sass this episode. Oh my god, what's gone into you guys?
I have
Hold on,
the
let me
sass.
adjust my
Looks like
trackers.
we're
I'll flip them.
set.
No, I'm kidding.
It's our sassiest
Oh my
episode
god,
ever.
Corgi, no.
It's
All right,
Saturday,
so
Saturday
let me
Saturday
ask these
Night Live.
questions.
There we go.
I don't want this to linger too long. Let me repeat the question for you, okay? So, how do you think the gaming and streaming communities can become more inclusive and welcoming to trans individuals?
So there's actually been a few things that I've noticed. A lot more games are starting to scrooge away from whenever you go to pick characters, there's only just like the male or the female characters. There's been a lot more options towards both male, female, non-binary, and stuff like that. So including things like that into games is definitely great. Allowing more options and customability so that people can find that perfect way to set up their character to be like them has been absolutely amazing. When it comes to things like competitions and tournaments, I know there are female and trans females that do get into some of the tournaments, but there's already a lack of discrimination when it comes to, unless you, I hate to say it, unless you are a cis white man playing video games, they tend to be a little bit more discriminatory pretty much to anybody else. So trying to be more accepting. I play a lot of games. I play Call of Duty. I play Fortnite. I play a lot of games that are very toxic when it comes to a lot of that. I have heard everything. I have yet to hear anything new in the years that I have been into gaming. And I haven't had comms on in such a long time because the last time I had it on, even though I'm trans male and I have it on my profile everywhere that I'm he, him, the moment they hear my voice, the first thing out their mouth is, go back to the kitchen, make me a sandwich. And the one time I actually did, I said, okay, we were mid-match, and I walked away, and I was the healer. So, I came back with the sandwich. He's like, where did you go? I needed healing. I'm like, you told me to go make a sandwich. Make up your mind. But
That's great.
one of the things
Play
that
along, play
I
the game.
started to notice,
Hell yeah.
right? There is a lot more, I can't remember what game it is. I think it's the newest Call of Duty, where they're actually going to start listening to people's comms, and if you say anything remotely sexist, racist, transphobic, homophobic, you're banned.
Yeah, because there's
still
Pacific Channel
into it.
Warzone, I think, and I've
about
seen
to
some
say-
pretty hilarious montages of people using proximity chat. Like Timmy
I mean,
Tanzi's
their
put
entire
his laugh
playlist is
into a
about to be
loop.
dropped by a quarter.
I kind of miss the old days when we used to play Modern Warfare 2 and everybody was just saying,
Nope. No, I don't miss those days at all.
no, they weren't even.
Oh.
I miss those days because it wasn't about
the
those personal
racism
things.
you would hear.
No, I didn't hear
Oh
any
my
racism.
God.
Just a second.
I didn't hear it when I
I don't
played
know
Modern
about
Warfare
that.
2.
I do not know about that. I don't know what you were playing, but every lobby I was in had it. Every freaking
It's
lobby.
either
It
so
doesn't
you
matter.
suck at this game or you need to get better or get good, those kinds of things. But I'm not going to be vulgar, but you can get the point what I'm trying to say. But it was mostly about those things. And it wasn't about personal things that people were fighting about.
I heard so
I can
many
understand
racial
people
slurs
getting
in
a
Modern
little
Warfare 2
bit
days.
heated and upset when it comes to like the actual competitive part of the games. You know how they have comp play and stuff like that. Overwatch has it. I can understand that sometimes people just get a little ahead of themselves because they just get so into it and they're working really hard trying to get into the competitive thing that they just get so absorbed. So when stuff doesn't go their way, they tend to burst out. It happens.
Not to end the question, Red, but I heard a pussy meow.
I was holding back to say that.
Who is that?
I was like, could have just said
Shut up
cat.
about it.
Chris, who's
Don't
in front
say
of
it.
I heard it too, but you could just say cat. Jesus Christ,
Are you
fiction.
my left brain right now?
Taco.
You were acting like me. You acting like what I should be, but I'm trying to be calm for Colton.
He's currently okay. So it's Taco. He's currently sitting on Chris's bed, staring at him. Chris is playing. What game are you playing?
Taco Bell does sound pretty good right now. Could go for some
Oh,
Chulibas.
the new Saints Row. He's playing Saints
I just had
Row,
Krav Dinner for dinner.
and Taco was just trying to get his attention. 'Cause he
Crawdad?
wanted attention.
Actually, that sounds good
Canadian
too.
Krav Dinner. Yeah.
Last night we went to a German place
sounds
downtown. That was delicious. Oh, my schnitzel's good.
We had some. What was it called? What, Colton? We had ramen today, didn't we? We went to like a chain restaurant ramen place, but they do it right.
Oh, I love ramen so much.
Oh no, yeah, go to a correct place to get ramen.
If you're ever in like the Portland area, here in Portland, south of me, Portland, Oregon, they have this place called Ramen Ryoma. It is like handmade everything. Oh, it is. Mwah, it is absolutely delicious. Also, I live in like the perfect spot because there's a house across the street from where I live. Right behind that, there's boba tea, there's Korean barbecue, there's a bunch of Taco Jones, like all within walking distance of my
Korean
house. So I'm
barbecue.
spoiled.
So here's the thing. Interesting fact about Korean barbecue. So Colton just told me a story about at BLFC about how Whiplash wanted to do some pictures, do some other things, and he's like, and then as soon as he had Korean barbecue, he was out. He's like, he couldn't even do that. He told me that
Korean
story.
barbecue
Whiplash.
is my ISIS. Korean barbecue is my ISIS, but it's so delicious. It's so good.
It's so good.
So now you learned your
good.
mistake. You learned your mistake. Do not do any of the activities you said you were going to do until, don't do any of the activities. You got to do the activities first. My bad. Do the activities first before you do Korean barbecue.
Or idea.
That's your mistake.
How about Korean barbecue on Sunday night at like 10 o'clock so we can get good sleep?
Oh, you're gonna be sleeping like a baby.
Exactly.
The great thing about the one next to my house is they do takeout. So if I don't want to sit at like the thing, I could just order bulgogi beef for lunch, and they'll add like rice and kimchi and all of it into like this thick container for like $20, and I'll go home. I'll eat the absolute crud
personally,
out of that.
So what
Sounds
would
so
you
good
put
now.
in your ramen? Like, I'm not talking about like just noodles and the chicken because you probably like that. But I'm talking about like vegetables. Like, what's your favorite vegetables in your ramen?
Bok choy, kimchi, just regular cabbage kimchi, corn, and then I usually like cashew pork, tamago eggs, stuff like that. I like a lot of proteins and veggies. Yeah, we went so far off topic.
We need like a food episode, like another food episode, because you did one.
Yeah, that sounds good right now. But anyways, I'll skip on to the next question. So, how do you define and understand? Well, actually, you know what? I actually skipped the question. My bad. Anyway, so how do you balance sharing your personal experience as a trans person, like with maintaining boundaries and privacy?
It can be hard sometimes, especially when it comes to the streaming community, because your audience always wants to know more about you. They want to get to know you. They want to feel like they're a part of your life. But sometimes you really have to draw that line, because when you start talking too much about yourself, it creates a parasocial relationship. And I'm all about community. I'm all about that. But there are times, for instance, I had somebody who I was friends with, but not like really close friends with, who shared some information with me that honestly made me very uncomfortable. I'm talking extremely uncomfortable. It was a subject that actually causes me to shut down. And I ended up telling him, like, I was not okay with that. You might need to seek therapy. I'm not doing so good after that. And unfortunately, we still talk to each other, but our friendship suffered because of that. He thought he could open up to me, but he didn't know enough about me to know that that was something that was detrimental. Like most of my really close friends know, it's not a subject I'm comfortable with. But it's one of those things where you really have to set your boundaries. One major boundary I have is, I forgot to mention when I came in, I really do not like my face touched. I don't like boops. I don't like people's hands in my faces. Head pats, good. I don't like.
It's a good thing I did that then.
Yeah. You honestly would be able to tell because I would do this. I tend to do.
I was trying to pet your head.
But head pats are fine. So when it comes to trying to set boundaries and stuff like that, I try to do the best that I can. But because of the way that I grew up, I'm kind of one of those people pleasers. So I try my best to try and set the boundaries, but it can be hard.
Okay.
One of the things is I'm an 18+ streamer, and the occasional kid unfortunately will come in. We won't know that they're a kid until they say something sus, like, you know, I have class tomorrow and something like that. And then usually my mods will be like, hey, if you're under the age 18, you can't really be in here. This stream is very inappropriate for you, stuff like that. But they occasionally, because I have transgender tags, they'll come in and they'll ask trans questions. I try my best to try and talk about it as much as possible, but when they start asking questions about, like, their body and the way that it changes as they get older and stuff, I cannot talk about that with them. That is something that their parents or a doctor has to speak with them, because if I tried to give them that information and something goes wrong, it will come back on me.
Yeah,
and
backfire.
as much as I really want to help them, it will not look good to society if, say, a 15-year-old comes and asks a random 30-year-old stranger to be their best friend and to teach them about sex ed. About, sex ed as a transgender person. And, like, what happens when you start getting on T-shots, how your body reacts to it. Everybody is a little bit different. So I always tell them the best is to consult with a doctor. You go to regular doctor visits, there will be times where your parents will be in the room. You can ask the doctor those questions during those times, especially if you're just not sure about things at that time. So, making sure that you have clear boundaries. My biggest boundaries is I'm an 18+ streamer, so we have an 18+ Discord. And, kids want to play with what they assume is somebody who's really popular just because they look at numbers rather than the person. We had a 9-year-old come into the server. They got kicked out almost an hour later, and I let them know. I was like, hey, unfortunately, you can't be in here because it's not a safe place for you. We talk about topics that are not age appropriate for you. When you get older, maybe someday you can come back, but at this time, it's not okay for you. And they understood. They were very understanding, and I'm really glad that they were, because I've had a few incidents where it did not go so well. But it's just me trying to make sure I set those boundaries, because I'm a very open person and I'm very happy to help and share with people about my experiences and trying to help them figure out what they want to do. But there's only so much I can do. Everything has to be depending on what they do. They have to see a doctor. They have to do their own research.
Yeah.
Because I can't decide for them.
I guess my next question is actually, go ahead, Whiplash, if you want to say something real quick.
I was gonna say, it's fine helping out people whenever you can, in your boundaries and what you can say. But people who are content creators in general, they can't be therapists for people. Like, there's a lot of things you've gotten sometimes in DMs. You're like, look, as much as I'd like to help you, I can't. You need to seek out some actual, professional help with this. Because whatever I say,
because we don't know the answer.
For us. Yeah, it won't be the correct answer. That's for sure.
You also don't know what the content creator has gone through in their lives. You may think that it might be something that they would be okay with talking about, and then you come to find out that it's actually a topic that they have suffered in their past before, like content creation, and it actually causes them mental distress. We are not therapists. We can try and do our best to make your day a little bit better. I try my best to make my streams as positive as possible, so when people come home from work, from their college courses, and they just need a place to unwind, my stream is where I hope that they'll come, kind of thing. Because there's days where I do Unity work, where we have a productive day, where people can come in and we can talk about things and they can learn things, or they can just work on whatever they want to while they listen to us in the background. the whole point is to give them that escape away from the everyday life that causes them distress on a daily basis.
Exactly.
How do you...
That's kind of the same thing with this podcast, honestly. We like making people happy and listening to what we have to talk about, and people we bring
give
in.
each other...
Yeah, I've been listening on my off times.
Oh, we appreciate that.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
as you can tell, me and the guys, we like to give each other, well, you know.
That's probably the most you've given me the entire time.
It's part of the entertainment, but
yes.
yeah, we need to go because we're running out of time actually.
Oh, so we could go with one more question if you want.
Yeah, we passed the hour mark, so.
Hey, we're having fun.
I guess one more question. Let's do one more question. And I guess my question is, you know, how do you define and understand gender beyond the binary?
That's actually one of the hardest questions that I can think of. Everybody comes in different shapes, forms, colors, sizes. Everybody comes a little bit different. I feel like gender is the same thing. Everybody's a little bit different in their own special way. I am transmasc, but I still like feminine things. I have a husband who still likes a lot of like the guy stuff, like right now he's playing Saints Row, but he's gender fluid. Sometimes he likes to go by she/her pronouns. Everybody is a little bit different. So trying to understand when somebody tries to tell you, hey, I feel like I'm leaning more towards this. Could you possibly call me by these pronouns? That includes neo-pronouns. Sometimes people identify a little bit different outside of the normal binary of like she, her, they, them, bless you. She, her, they, them. There's more than just that. So long as it's I get this a lot. I identify as an attack helicopter. So long as you're not doing stuff like that. Sure, it's a joke. I laugh at it. It makes me laugh every once in a while. But to some people, it could be a little bit more. It could hit a little too close to home, like because when people are confused about where they are, who they are, what they are, when people don't take in their mentality at that time and they say something like that, it could be seen as insensitive. So trying to understand everybody's different personalities, different genders is going to be hard no matter what, because there's always going to be something new that comes out that we don't know about, especially with me getting older as I am. I recently learned something that I didn't even know existed. I felt really bad about it, and I apologized. And they're like, that's fine, as long as you're still learning. I'm like, yeah, everything new comes out. And it's just one of those things that you just learn as you go. So long as you're learning and you're willing to understand, you know.
So
everything
I do want to ask. I do want to ask you one more question. This is a more quicker question. So my last question is there any transgender content creators that we should follow?
Actually, there's a few. One of my moderators, Madam Jayski, she is a trans female content creator. She's also a permanent mute, like she can't talk at all. She is a super sweetheart. She uses TTS in order to talk to people. She teaches me how to sign in VR. So I can actually fingerspell now, and I'm starting to learn a little bit more. And then we have Stormy Folth, who also transitioned. She's an absolute sweetheart. I've always loved her content, even when she did YouTube back in the day. She still does YouTube, just not as much. She's more on Twitch now. I'm drawing a kind of a blank right now because I'm starting to like go down I have a lot of friends, so I'm going down the list. I don't know why I'm looking at Chaos. I'm like looking at him, like, can you?
I could see. If the audience doesn't know that his
Sometimes it's hard to give names and precise information on the spot. It happens.
I just pulled up Discord in front of me. Pinky Fox is another one of my moderators. She's does more. She likes to. What are they? They're little RC cars. She likes to make those on stream. And I've sat through a few of them, and they're actually like really cool little cars. And I don't know anything about computers or technology, but it was fun to learn some stuff and ask her questions. She's always open to telling people about that. Let's see here. I already did Madam Adolpha. Adolpha Arts. So it's ADOL. PHA_arts is trans female, amazing content creator. She makes avatars like I do and all of that. Most of them are mods. And then the biggest one who recently started creating their own footing is oh my god, I forgot her name like right off. Fresca Husky. There we go. Fresca Husky on TikTok. She just recently started on TikTok. She doesn't really stream, but on her TikToks, she's going through her transitions right now, and she is telling everybody about her experience. Each of her videos is her teaching us something new about transitioning as a trans female. She just recently started on TikTok, and I've been watching her, and I've met her a few times, and she's an absolute sweetheart. I absolutely love her content.
Well, thanks for that information. We'll definitely take a look at them.
Thank you.
Exactly.
Well, that concludes today's episode, guys. We'll see you guys next week, and we'll see
you later. Bye.
Thanks for coming in. You guys have a good night and take care.
Yeah, all right. That's all right.
Love each other, please. Stop fighting.
I was so nervous.
Pointless.
I was so nervous. I was like, crap.
Oh, this is just like your normal self. That's the best way to give it to you.
Thank you. I've never been on a podcast before, so I wasn't sure
we need to take the
doing.
picture before everybody goes.
Hey, Corgi,
Yeah,
sorry about earlier. I want to apologize.
About what?
Well, earlier when you were trying to talk to me, like you're doing hand symbol, I thought you were trying to say boop on the nose. I booped you on the nose by accident. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. No, I'm not mad about that. I was just. Yeah, it's just one of those
I'll get back
things
with you about
where
one
I
more
thought
video.
it was a
I'm
common
still
hand
thinking
sign,
about
but
it.
it's not.
By the way,
okay,
what I was talking about earlier.
I felt bad because
This weekend just
I was like,
good.
oh shoot,
not inclooning the car crash.
No,
just
I
mentally,
mentioned something
I'm not.
else.
Wasn't
I
well.
mentioned something completely different that didn't have to do with that, hun. You're fine.
Okay.
You're fine. I mentioned something else.